Before we begin with the personal life outline, I'd like to give you a quick overview of how to use the videos in this module. This module is not so much about my teaching as it is you thinking. It's about you stopping and taking the time necessary to think about where you are today and where you want to go in the future. So this video is designed to seed your thinking by offering examples of what should or can go into each section. In other words, I'm not instructing you as much as I'm giving you food for thought. The real meat of this module comes when you complete your outline and we begin to discuss it in person. So let's get started with the personal life outline. Now, why personal first? I always begin here because that tends to take the most thought. Think about it. We're entrepreneurs, and as such, we're automatically programmed into business. Therefore, it sends a subliminal signal to your brain when starting with your personal life that it's time to shift gears a bit. You also avoid inadvertently blocking things out by having the business overshadow your thinking. So let's get started with your current personal situation. What are my favorite ways to spend time? This is always a tough one for me because I like to do a lot of stuff. Of course, it's your favorite things to do list, so don't be shy. Make the list as long and as wide as you can. In my case, I've included things like time with the family, riding my bike, cooking, entertaining friends, reading, and smoking that occasional great cigar. Remember, you're an entrepreneur and it's real easy to mix business and personal here, so focus only on the personal. We'll get to the business later. Who are the most important people in my life? In order to list them, keep in mind a few things. These are the people who influence your world today. These are the ones who support you and will probably have a significant role into where you go in the future. Who are the most important people? Your spouse, significant other, parents, friends, mentors, business associates, anyone who adds positively to your journey, you list here. Then comes one of my favorite parts, my greatest past learning experiences. And this includes all areas of your personal life: physical, mental, spiritual, social, and even a little bit of work. List lessons learned from experiences both large and small, whatever had an impact on you and altered either your thinking or your direction in life. If you're like me, this list will give you one or two aha moments as you recall something long ago glossed over, but it's extremely important to shaping the individual you are today. This next question, my greatest hits or accomplishments, is a great mental pat on the back because it's no time for being humble. List them all and be sure to smile when looking back. Your personal accomplishments, sports accomplishments, educational. It's a good thing to stop and allow yourself to be proud once in a while. And to ensure that it doesn't go to your head, we'll quickly balance your thinking with the next question. Next, it's time to review my greatest challenges. And I use the word challenges here, but really mean screw-ups, mistakes, major foobarrs. List them all, but do your best not to go into a funk. Remind yourself that they're all just part of the tuition of life and must be treated as such. Hopefully this list won't be longer than your list of accomplishments. In my case, I listed things like jobs I lost, friendships that ended, sports losses, my motorcycle crash, all of the things that cause you to stop and reassess life. The purpose of this section isn't to remind you of negative thoughts, but instead help you to remember the lessons and the challenges that made you stronger. This one should flow easily, because if you're like me, you have a mile-long list of things to do. Ride my motorcycle across the U.S. and Canada, eventually make my way to New Zealand, Australia, and Europe, travel with friends and family, learn to play music. I won't bore you with further details, but you get the point. Dream big here. Here I list the people I simply want to know better and that I believe will enrich my world. I really get into that whole 6 degrees of separation thing, like hanging out backstage with ZZ Top, riding with cool people, and meeting other top-notch CEOs. The crazy thing about this list is that no matter how creative you get with it, you can usually find a way to meet them. Because I recently rode with Bob Parsons, CEO of GoDaddy.com, and met my comedic idol, Dan Aykroyd. It was a total blast, so don't be shy. Go for it here. One of the keys to success is being a lifelong learner. So this is where we begin to focus on your overall development and think about what you want to work on or learn. Take into account things like classes you want to take, hobbies or sports, educational travel, explore your spirituality, learn more about your health. Whatever gets your juices flowing and will make your life more interesting, list it here, because it'll flow right into a future module. Now it's goal setting time. And if you're like me, you're always aggressive in what you want to accomplish. The thing to remember here is not to limit yourself in terms of time. Remember, these are the things you want to do or begin within the next 5 years. So go for it, as it's always better to shoot for 10 things and hit 8 instead of going for 6 and only hitting 3. Start with those known challenges: home improvements, children's education, losing weight, time management. Whatever you can think of that will cause you to lose focus during your journey. I know that it's impossible to see every one of them lurking out there in the future. But if life's taught me one thing, it's that we all have them coming, and that it's good to be prepared. So, the more you consider this list, the better prepared you'll be. Now we want to put it all together and focus on your ultimate destination. It's time to fill out your personal life outline. And I've broken it down into 3 columns. The left column is your key results area or goals. The middle is where you are today in relation to that goal. And the right, where you want to be in the future. Under the KRA column, I already listed for you family, health, learning, financial, spirituality, and community, as I believe these are the major categories. But feel free to change them if you like, or add a couple. From there, take the list you created when brainstorming and place the key items into the corresponding columns. For example, favorite ways to spend my time went right under the present corresponding column, while things I want to do went under the correct column in the future, and so on. Once you've completed it, simply put it aside, but keep it close at hand. That's because over the next few days, your mind will wander and some new things will pop up. You have to give this outline 3 to 5 days to germinate. But no more than that, because we need to turn this list into action. Besides, I revisit my list once a year on my birthday, so it's always evolving. Once you've completed the outline, you're ready to move on to the business life video. And I'll be waiting for you there. So have fun.